Hey y'all, and good now, whenever and wherever this finds you. Welcome to today's episode of Pontification by TC. Today I have a special opportunity. My latest joy was to make snippets out of an interview that a radio station did with Jimmy Dore. And they had a Zoom of all four of them together, and so for me it was to take snippets, and I had a really great time, and so I want to share some of those with you now. This snippet's about the endless wars that we seem to be in all over the world.
Say something really, really quick. Jimmy, I love your perspective, and I think you just touched on something really, really important. I think people are paying less attention to what the mainstream media is trying to tell us, and the narratives that they're trying to that they're trying to wash on different people that are running for office, different people that are out there. The hyperpolarization is so regular and so frequent and so aggressive that people are just taking everything with a grain of salt. It's saturated. So it is surprising that his numbers are where they're at. But I think it's because people are just putting narratives aside. Does that make sense?
I hope so. I mean, it seems, right, again, because when we reflect on the culture, we reflect on what was being reflected back to us by mostly mainstream corporate media. And hopefully people are seeing through it. I mean, I think the election of Donald Trump was proof that in a weird way that people were done with both parties. I mean, certainly when Donald Trump ran inside the Republican Party, I don't know explicitly why, but he gave himself a better chance of winning because they don't have super delegates like the Democrats and they couldn't block him. And when he ran as a Republican, he actually ran against the Republican Party, right? Which is what made Bernie so popular the first time and why he failed ever since. Because he wouldn't run against the Democratic Party anymore. He would just run against the Republican Party and the billionaires. So I think when people elected Donald Trump, I think that showed that they were done with the Republican Party, and then they saw through both parties, and they know it, right? And so that's why they have to double down on character assassination. They have to get people to discredit third parties, and voting for third parties makes you crazy, right? That's what John Oliver told us last time. When they get comedians on HBO to tell you you're nuts for voting for a third party, well, you know that guy's being paid by the same people who pay the Democrats and the Republicans, right? And let's forget those are the same people, right? It's not like the Democrats get their money from a different place, Big Pharma and Silicon Valley. And so, that's that. I mean, that's why we're living in the country. That's why they can send $100 billion to Ukraine right in your face before they'll send $100 billion to California to fix the homelessness problem. You know what I tell people on stage in when I go on stage in Los Angeles, the people don't know I'm coming. So most of them don't know who I am. And when I get to this part of my act, they start cheering when I said, they can fix homelessness for $20 billion. So for $100 billion, we could have ended homelessness, started it again, then said we were just kidding and fixed it again. And they start cheering because they know instinctively that we're being fleeced, that we do have the money to take care of our own people. We just won't do it. They still won't give us health care. Joe Biden is out there giving a tear-jerking sermon about how we got to send money for people in Ukraine so that they can have a pension and they can have some money. Hey, how about people in the United States, you corrupt mother? And so that's 100%. That's not about helping the people in Ukraine. That's about keeping this war going, which is, again, just a funnel, as Julian Assange has taught us, that these wars are not meant to be won. These wars are meant to be endless and keep going. And I was wondering why they were allowing Joe Biden to end the Afghanistan war, because that was a real honeypot for them. I mean, forever and ever, that was a gold mine, man. That was a gold mine. And And I knew, so when people were trying to give Joe Biden credit, I saw people in the news or on YouTube trying to give Joe Biden credit for ending the Afghanistan war. And I'm like, you don't give him credit until he tells you what he's going to do with the money they would have been spending in Afghanistan. Because what he's going to do is spend it on another fucking war. And that's exactly what happened. And so, no, the only reason they were allowing him to do that was I knew that there was another war coming. That's exactly what it was. They were ramping up for the Ukraine war, and they wanted to funnel money that way. And how is it that I knew this when every MFer thought it was the exact opposite? They thought Joe Biden was doing it in earnest to end the Afghanistan war. No, they were just moving their money funnel that to the national security state from Afghanistan, and they're moving it over to Ukraine. That's all it is. And now they're going to be moving it onto Taiwan.
I just love Jimmy Dore and the way he talks with such passion and righteous indignation. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you down the road.